Some lawmakers say they are trying to empower older Vermonters this session, also protecting them from potential violence. State House reporter Josh Morrill joins us live in the newsroom with more on how a new bill would increase protections for those aging outside of long-term care facilities. Josh?
Well, Lauren, for years, a number of Vermont lawmakers have been dedicated to helping older Green Mountain Staters have more control over their lives as they age, and a bill on the verge of hitting the House floor this week would add to those efforts. For decades, officials say Vermont's adult protection laws have been behind the times.
Older Vermonters should be able to direct their own lives.
The laws that created the Adult Protection Services Division in Vermont were enacted in 1979 and were centered around the stability of Vermont's long-term care institutions, allowing the APS to almost solely interact with the person who may be inflicting harm. Now, John Gordon, Vermont's Adult Protective Services Director, says they are pleading with lawmakers to allow them to overhaul what they can do for Vermont's vulnerable adults.
Reflect the environment that we find ourselves in now.
And with those institutions facing an acute staffing shortage and more vulnerable adults choosing to live out their lives at home, APS received around 3,600 calls and opened 876 investigations involving potential abuse in 2022.
Give them more rights and also allow for their voice to be heard more in the outcomes.
State Representative Dan Noyes is spearheading a bill that would allow for more corrective justice and mediation and give APS a chance to sit down with victims before conducting an investigation.
Allowing individuals to really be in charge of their own care, their own lives, and, saying, okay, so how do you make your own decisions?
Noyes and Gordon both say Vermont's existing adult abuse registry will continue to help institutions and those seeking care to find a positive solution, but that it can't be the only remedy.
Individuals who are substantiated maltreatment, their names are placed on the registry, but that's about the only solution.
And Noyes hopes his bill will solve some of the decades-old issues.
People who are exploiting or abusing or neglecting a vulnerable adult are held accountable.
And the House on Human Services Committee, which Noyes sits on, is set to vote on this bill this week, and 10 of the 11 committee members are already signed on to the bill. Live in the newsroom tonight, Josh Morrill, ABC 22 News.